So I literally just had a moment of revelation, and I had to hop on here really fast before I lose it. And I started, like, I just grabbed paper from the computer, I started typing it down. Or writing it down, not typing. Jeez. So I was sitting here listening to a lesson while I'm working, and I literally stopped in the middle of my work. And the question came up, what has God been repeating that you have been resisting? That we need God to fill in the gaps, because God is the one who brings the increase, right? We're just supposed to do our part, but nothing is ever out of God's reach. He always fills in the gaps and brings the increase, and he proves himself over and over again. And then next thing you know, in my mind, I'm just thinking, like, how many times has he shown up for me? When has he ever failed me? Never. I can't even count the amount of times that I've been brought out of something that I could not have even imagined that I would have been able to get my way out of. Because, and guess what? I couldn't imagine it because it wasn't for me to get me out of. God was supposed to bring me out of that thing. And I just keep thinking, like, God has been so consistent. He has always brought me out. He has never left me, never failed me. But yet and still there have been times where I and you have felt left and unheard and forgotten, and like your prayers aren't making it to the ceiling, and like maybe he thinks you're unworthy and he's not, going to give you things because you don't deserve them. But what he has consistently proven that is that he's a God of grace and mercy, that he is just and he is righteous and he is faithful, not because of you, but because of who he is, right? He doesn't his feelings for you don't change with the wind. There's nothing that we can do that will prevent him from loving us as much as he already loves us. There's nothing you can do to actually get him to love you more. His love just is. He is. And when I think about that, I just get excited. But then I think about those times where when I felt alone, I would unintentionally distance myself. And I guarantee you, you distance yourself too when that's the time that you needed to be closest to him. And when you distance yourself, it doesn't get any better. And then you find yourself distancing yourself from him. But then you're seeking out the people who you know have never showed up for you, who you know are flawed, who you know are destined to make mistakes, who you know don't always have your best interests at heart. We will literally seek those people out. And I'm just sitting here and I'm feeling super convicted because I'm like, oh my goodness, can you mean to tell me I'm distancing myself from God, but who's never failed me, but I'm seeking out people who are destined to fail me. And that is the thing that I have been resisting, or that he's been repeating to me, and maybe I've been resisting, and maybe you have too. And maybe that's the thing you need to think about, right? Because, we're going and seeking out these people, but these are usually people who aren't really for us, right? Who God didn't intend for us. And we generally get closer to them when we're not close to him. And in Matthew 6:23, because I think you guys know where I'm going, because Matthew 6:33 is seek ye first. But before we get there, Matthew 6:23, your eyes are a lamp to your body. And so if your eyes are healthy, that means they're full of light, right? That's why you have to seek God out, because God is the light. But when you're seeking out unhealthy things, those people that you're seeking out that aren't there for you, that God didn't intend to be in your path, are full of darkness. And we wonder why things still go wrong. Yet and still, we are seeking out the darkness. We think we're trying to get out of the hole, but we're actually digging ourselves further into the hole. And so it's like, duh, Amanda, like if we seek him the way that we seek out people around us that we think are going to solve our problems, pay a bill, show up for us, pick us up, do this, do that, show us how to, make this or make that, or teach us this or teach us that for this or that degree. Like if we sought him out the way we seek out the people around us that we think can help us, oh my goodness, right? But when we're distancing ourselves from him unintentionally, we're still seeking out these other people. This is how we end up connected to the wrong people. You have to seek God to be able to be connected to the people that he wants you to be connected to to be connected to the people that are full of light, that are going to pour that light into you. That is what he means by, like, he adds everything to you. Go ahead, just read Matthew 6 if you haven't read it. Refresh yourself, because you need it today, because I refreshed myself too. And he's going to bless you, but he can't if you're not seeking him out. You have to connect with him. You have to engage in the relationship with him instead of seeking out these people who are inevitably destined to fail you. Even if they want to be there for you every single time, they're human. They're going to fail you at one time or another. They're going to disappoint you at one time or another. So Matthew 6:33, fast forward. Seek ye first the kingdom. Seek God out, and all these things will be added unto you. What are all these things? The right people, the right opportunities, the right path, the right, blessings, the right job, the right home, the right, right everything, right? Seek God out, and he will add those things to you in addition to your everyday needs. That's what they mean by the grass and the flowers and the trees. Nobody is actively going out here to feed these random trees in the forest, but they're taken care of, because that's God. That's God's thing. We're the ones who's messing it up. And like, even go further, go past 33 and go into 34. Matthew 6:34, where it says, how many hours have you gained from worry, right? Like, how many hours have you added on? As a matter of fact, that's up in 27. But in 34, it says, you do not worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. That's what it means to be present. That's what it means to be mindful. That's what it means to be in the moment. Be here. Be with God. Be where he needs you to be so that he can speak to you. That is when I feel the most inspired, the most creative, the most happy, the most encouraged, is when I'm connected. I literally just said to my husband last night, I said, I had to go to church. We got to go to church because we've been doing a lot of traveling, and unfortunately we've been out in all these different places. And of course, obviously you can research churches, but we didn't. Okay. That's on me, but whatever. Don't come for me. What I am going to say is, yes, it's good to read the Bible, but yes, it's good to do your meditations, but it's something about that gathering. It's something about that connection. It's something about sitting and just taking it all in. So seek him out. Seek him out, because he will, clarity, okay? God is not in the midst of confusion. If you need clarity, start there. Start with God, okay? And then you will be drawn to the people that he needs you to have access to fulfill your purpose, i.e. his will. That's it, okay? I didn't mean to go that long, but that's the message. That's it. That's the message. Be there. Be where God needs you to be, with him. Develop that relationship. Be vulnerable. Share the feelings. Give all the thoughts. Give it to God. That's it. Happy Tuesday.